अच्छा, ये ग्रुप कौन सा है, ग्रुप नंबर?
ग्रुप नंबर मैं बता देता हूँ।
मैम इट्स ग्रुप 9।
ठीक है, ग्रुप नंबर 9।
ग्रुप 9 है जी,
चलें
ग्रुप
जी।
9 है।
यस बेटा, स्टार्ट।
स्टार्ट करते मैम, सब आ गए हैं क्या?
अब मैं इतना तो टाइम वेस्ट नहीं, चलो 3:20 तक वेट कर लेते हैं। 3:20 तक वेट कर लेते हैं।
क्योंकि मैम मेरे ख्याल से सिर्फ 3 लोग हैं। नहीं नहीं, मॉडरेटर्स हैं।
ये सारे के सारे आज मॉडरेटर्स हैं।
अच्छा, सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स मॉडरेटर्स होंगे मैम?
हाँ, क्योंकि मुझे एक को राइट नहीं देना होता है, मुझे फिर पूरी क्लास को राइट देना होता है ना।
ठीक है, सही।
आपका ग्रुप पार्टनर कौन है?
मैम हदीका हनीफ।
हदीका। इंट्रोवर्ट टू एन एक्सट्रोवर्ट।
कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स आए हैं।
जब तक इन द मीन टाइम वो करके देखो, उसको वीडियो प्ले करके देखो ताकि बाद में डिस्टरबेंस ना हो। इन द मीन
हम्म
टाइम, ठीक है, जल्दी से वीडियो प्ले करके देखो, स्क्रीन शेयर करवा के।
स्क्रीन शेयर। मैम शेयर हो रही है?
लेट मी चेक, एक मिनट। प्ले करो, अभी तो
प्ले
स्क्रीन
कर
आई
दिए?
है। प्ले कर दी है? नहीं, प्ले तो नहीं
आपको
हो
शो
रही।
नहीं हो रही?
नहीं, मुझे
नहीं हो
शो
रही
नहीं
आपको
हो
शो?
रही। सिर्फ स्क्रीन आ रही है जहां पे लिखा है इंट्रोवर्ट वर्सेस एक्सट्रोवर्ट, लेकिन वीडियो प्ले नहीं हुई।
हम्म अगर मैं इंटायर स्क्रीन करूं तो अब देखिए मैम।
अब हो रही है? हाँ सही है,
अब
अब
हो
हुई
रही?
है।
बस सही है, वो
सही।
इंटायर स्क्रीन करके। लैग तो नहीं है मैम बहुत ज्यादा?
नहीं नहीं, ठीक है, स्मूथ है।
बस ठीक है, बस ठीक है। उसको मैं स्टॉप शेयरिंग कर देता हूँ।
भाई, कितनी ऑडियंस हो गई हमारी आज? 12।
हम्म
बेटा जल्दी से ज्वाइन करें, वी ऑलरेडी डोंट हैव मच टाइम, हमारे पास 2 ग्रुप्स
हम्म
लाइन अप हैं, जल्दी जल्दी ज्वाइन करें। अज़बा और सबीका ने दे दी तो इसका मकसद है उन्होंने ज्वाइन नहीं करना है। सबीका ने, अच्छा सबीका तो है मौजूद,
हम्म
अज़बा मौजूद नहीं है।
थैंक यू आतिफ, थैंक यू। So you guys tell me, until we have more participants, how's your Ramadan going? Everyone can listen to me, right? Good. That's good. That's good. And everyone can see me also, right? You guys can see me also. Okay.
Mark, beta, you can
Ji
start your
ma'am.
presentation now.
Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna start. So, hello, guys. How are you? My name is Amar, and me and my partner, Hadika Hanif, would be presenting the topic of transformation of an introvert to an extrovert. So you guys would be wondering that, what is an extrovert and introvert basically. So an introvert is a personality type that is basically not social. The introverts do not like to face crowds. You can see the picture. The person is trying to hide behind the curtains, and obviously they do not want to come out of their comfort zone. So yes, and the extrovert are basically very different as compared to introverts. So they're very extremely social. They like to face huge crowds, and obviously they're extremely confident, and they like to attract more attention. When they are in front of in front of people, performing or doing something, some sort of activity. They always try to they like to attract more and more and more attention. So yes. And this presentation would be about my own experience, that how I molded myself into an extrovert, because I was not always like this. So I'm going to be telling you about my school experience, where I studied from kindergarten to 8th class. So in my school, we had a great class strength. It was like 50 to 60 boys in the same class. We had like separate classes for females and males. So it was not a co-education system, obviously. So yes, it was a perfect environment for me as an introvert, to hide behind the back, because it's been, statistically proven fact that a teacher, if he's handling like 60 to 70 people in a class that are full of people, he or she would be only concentrating on the first few rows. So a teacher can only recognize the people who are sitting at the very front of the rows of their class. So it was easy for me, in that sort of environment, to sit behind, and hide behind. And yes, it was a perfect introverted environment. But then again, the things change. So yes, my move to co-ed in 9th grade, thanks to my mother, that she thought that it's not a good environment for me, to learn and to brought up myself, that she thought I'm gonna be changing my school. So she moved me to a co-education system. So in that school, it was like a cultural shock for me. The very first day, what happened to me was really embarrassing. On the very first day, a monitor, who was also a girl, she took me out of the assembly line, and she said to me that you are going to be standing here for 5 minutes, because. So I asked her why I'm going to be standing here for 5 minutes. She said, you're going to be standing here for like 5 minutes because your shoes are not polished, and your shirt is not tucked in. Things like that I haven't experienced in my previous school. So yes, I learned in that environment. The girls were basically managing everything. They were like leaders in that school. They were speaking fluent English. They were interacting with teachers, principal, and the boys were the same. So yes, in that school, I experienced a cultural shock, because also my class had a very low strength. We were like 6 boys and 4 girls only. So in that sort of environment, you cannot hide from the teacher would find you out, ask you questions. So that environment was extremely different from what I used to experience, from my kindergarten to 8th grade. So yes, it was a perfectly extroverted environment, only 10 individuals in the class. So yes, very different. So yes, what did I learn from the co-education system? I learned that I had to be more confident. I had to change my personality. I have to learn English, because I saw those girls that were putting an impact on everyone. I have to improve my personality. I haven't learned those things like polishing my shoes, keeping myself clean, tucking up my shirt. So yes, I learned that I have to change my personality, be more confident. Come out of my comfort zone, basically. and what sorts of things that I changed in my life in future. So fast forward, let's do a fast forward, of my personal change that came into my life. So I wrote 2 novels in English, obviously, and they're also published on Amazon. I basically did engineering in 2014, and after my engineering, most of my group mates, they were trying to find obviously engineering job. I did electronics engineering, so they were getting like 5 to 10K salary, but I got my first job because I wrote a novel. I got my first job as a writer, not as an engineer, because I learned that my selling point would be my confidence, would be my English, as the time goes on. So that's what I did. I applied for a writer's job and I got it. And I still remember the manager who was looking at my CV and looking at my qualification. She was reading through my novel and she said, you wrote this, can I check plagiarism? I said, you feel free to do it. And she just asked me to wait for like 30 minutes, and I had a job on my hand just after 1 or 2 months after I graduated as an engineer. So yes, I presented my research paper in front of London Institute of Skills and Technology. And one more thing that I thought as a child that I would not be able to do, that is to stand in front of people in a class and teach. That was one thing that I thought, no, this is not for me. I would not be able to do this. That's a radical change in my personality. It would not be happening in any future. But then again, I was doing a good job. I was earning good money, and opportunity was being presented to me to, teach in a college. My salary was very low. But then again, I said, no, I have to come out of my comfort zone. I have to get this opportunity. I have to take this opportunity. Then again, I started teaching. I founded a research and development department also. I was a senior instructor in college for about 2 years. I taught. And, then again, I moved on because 2 years, it was enough. I tried myself. I tested myself. I did good. I thought, no. Then again, I have to do what I love to do. And then what I did is I founded my own software house. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it's not physical right now. I started it in late 2019. I had a team working in with myself, but then again, because of COVID, a lot of change happened, and now I'm kind of managing it on an online basis. But it's going good. It's going good, alhamdulillah. And then again, right now I'm working for a sustainable development solution network, that is a body that is working for United Nations, and we are working on, so United Nations in 2015 created basically 15 sustainable development goals for every country. It's like eradicating hunger, and giving free education, giving education, quality education to everyone. So things like that. So we in SDSN, working for UN as youth, will only be focused on goal 11, that is focused on making cities more sustainable for everyone, like providing cost-effective commutation, improving the air quality and improving the infrastructure, giving leisure places, making parks. So yes, I'm working with that. So I am one of the 100 people who were selected from all around the world. So there are only 2 people who were selected from all over Pakistan, and it was just me in 2021, and there's another girl. So yes, those were the things that I changed myself in the future, because I was really an introverted person. Then again, I thought that I need to change. So yes, traveling was again something that I thought I would not be able to do it, especially solo traveling. In solo traveling, you have to do everything by own. You have to communicate with people. Obviously, you have to book your train tickets, tram tickets, buses. So everything you have to manage alone by yourself. So what I did, I did like 15 days traveling to Europe. My last trip was Euro trip. It was basically a 15-day trip, and I was traveling non-stop to one European country to the other European country, basically from city to city that I planned about, and I was doing everything by myself. And yes, couch surfing. Why I'm telling you about traveling is basically about couch surfing also, because Couchsurfing is really different from, you know, Airbnb. In Airbnb, you basically rent your apartment, you know, and basically you get money for it. You give your apartment to someone and you get money for it. But in couchsurfing, you are living with people. They're not, you don't have to pay for them. You are going to be requesting them, okay, I'm gonna come to Budapest tomorrow, I'm gonna be landing to Budapest tomorrow, so I need a place, you know, I need a couch, so that I can hop in for a night or so. So these are going to be locals, and they're going to be showing you around, obviously, their city, and they're going to be telling you about their culture. So you're going to be living with people from cross cultures. So that's what I did. That's what I did in Russia. That's what I did in Prague. That's what I did in Budapest. That's what I did in Germany. I did it all around the world. I used couchsurfing, you know. And there were I haven't hosted anyone from outside, obviously, because there are not a lot of tourists coming, you know, into Pakistan. But there was one tourist who just contacted me in Ramadan a few days before, and she was from Morocco. So yes, the couchsurfing basically, you know, also expanded my horizon. Like, I had to meet people from all around the world. So yes, really transformed my personality. Because, you know, if you put an introvert into that situation, for instance, if you put an Pakistani introvert who can only speak two languages, English and Urdu, and you put him or her in Russia, so that's the kind of person who would not like to communicate. And then you're communicating with a person who is not even speaking English. So it's going to be a hell lot of problem for you guys, for anyone who is an introvert. But then again, you know, you have to come out of your comfort zone, especially while you're traveling. So yes, I'm going to give you a few examples, like what other things that I learned, you know, on my traveling trips. So I'm going to give you an example. Whenever you travel to a country, you learn things that, you know, you only came to know from the locals. That sort of information you know, only locals can provide you. And the same goes from to Pakistani people. You know, if someone is coming from outside, you can give them small little details that they might never have read before about Pakistan. So when I was staying with my couchsurfing host in Kazan, it's a Muslim region in Russia. So my couchsurfing host told me that we in Russia are restricted in Tatarstan. Kazan is basically in the region called Tatarstan. So she said we are only restricted by the government to only learn two languages, that is English, that is Russian, and Tatari language. So yes, that is the main reason that we are unable to speak and understand English. And then I'm going to tell you another example of Froke. Froke is my very good friend. She's from Germany. I couchsurfed with her in Budapest, Hungary. So she told me that when you will go to Germany, you would only find flags on boats and Parliament House. And that's what I witnessed. And I asked why. She said, it's because German people are not very patriotic, and especially the younger German people, because they think their history is not good. They were trying to, you know, conquer whole world, and they had adverse relations from all of the Europe. And another example I'm going to give you of a Kurdish guy. So, you know, Kurdish people are spread all around the world. They have like most of the people living in Turkey and Armenia. So they're like dispersed all around the world. So in the plane, he was telling me that he was traveling on Iraqi passport. That is one of the worst passport in the world. So, you know, he was basically trying to tell me that you are very, very, you know, lucky that you have a green passport, you have your own identity. So yes, by the time, you know, I've realized that this green passport means a lot to me. It has given me an identity, and, you know, I can easily travel from around from one place to the other, you know, with that passport. So I really respect it, you know, as I, you know, go on, you know, from country to country. Yes, not like other people, you know, who do disrespect it, say that Pakistani passport is, you know, green passport is one of the worst passports in the world. You have to make your own identity. You know, you have to go into the country that, you know, nowhere has gone before. So you have to make your own worth, and that's what I did. So yes, the motivation factor is also, you know, a main thing. You know, if you're trying to achieve any goals in your life, you know, if you're trying to achieve good grades, you have to be motivated. For instance, if I'm doing this degree, I have a motivation in front of myself that, you know, I have to do PhD. I have to get a PhD grant from Europe, you know, from a country like Germany or maybe Hungary, you know, maybe Germany is basically I would want to focus. So you have to have motivation behind, you know, you have to be doing things. For instance, if you're doing this degree, you know, it may be, you know, because of a salary raise, some sort of things like that. So I'm going to give you another example of mine. Like, so in the last year, October 2019, if you would have seen me, you would not be able to recognize my face, because I was 25 kgs heavier. So yes, in 2015, I thought I was around 70 to 70, 80 kgs, and I thought I'm gonna be, you know, changing myself. I have to, you know, put on more weight. I have to exercise, and I have to build a better, bigger body. So I've envisioned these bodybuilders, and I thought, you know, I should look like them. And so I did that. I put on like 20 to 25 kgs, but you know, in these 5 years, I've suffered, because that was not a suitable weight for my body. So I was not getting any motivation these 5 years. But then again, last year I got my motivation from a UFC fighter. UFC, you know, is a mixed martial arts organization, and I follow it. You know, it's kind of an art. So I basically follow it because there are people in this organization that gives you a lot of motivation about a lot of things. So there was a fighter who was given a fight for like, he was given a fight notice for about 7 days, and he also do commentary. So in 7 days, he lost around 11 kgs in just 7 days. And you know, when he did that fight, and you know, as a fighter, if you, after 7 days, if he would have got onto that scale and he would not made his weight for the fight, he would have lost 50% of his purse, 50% of his salary. So it's, you know, very meaningful for these fighters to make their weight in whichever category they're trying to fight. So yes, he gave a speech. He said, I see youngsters, you know, they're not motivated enough for the fights. They even do not make weight. He said, hire a nutritionist and make weight at the day of the fight. So it was more than that. So it motivated me, and I thought, okay, let's hire a nutritionist. So I hired a nutritionist, and I said, you know, I have to, you know, come to my original weight. I don't know how to lose weight. I know how to gain weight, but I don't know how to lose weight. So he basically gave me, you know, a diet plan. That diet plan, when I saw it, it was like eating every day. I had to eat a lot of things. I said, no, this thing might not work for me. I know my body. This thing might, you know, get me more kgs, get my body more kgs. I would not be able to lose any. So what I did, I basically followed my own plan. I started, you know, researching about it, and I learned that I need to do water-based, or basically liquid-based fasting. And I started it. I was like doing liquid-based fasting for like 3 days continuously. I was only taking liquids for 3 days continuously. I was doing that, you know, and I started running for like, you know, I was at the beginning of my weight loss journey. I was running for like 30 minutes. I was not checking, you know, how many kilometers have I completed. But then again, I started to learn that I can, you know, maybe run for like 5 kilometers. But then I expanded my horizons. Then again, now I can easily run for about 10 kilometers in, you know, 1 hour and so, like 1 hour and 5 minutes, or 1 hour and 8 minutes for average. And currently I'm like my weight revolves around 73 to 75 kg or 74 kg sometimes. I was like 95 to 97, and in 3 months I did that. I lost around 25 kgs. So if you would have seen me last year, obviously you would not be able to recognize me. And you can ask Ma'am Bushra. She also taught me another course, and she was also unable to recognize me, you know, in this course. Okay, so overcoming anxiety for introverts, this is really an important thing, you know, because when an introvert is exposed to a crowd, they obviously feel anxiety. So I'm going to give you an example about. I'm going to explain you about your own brain, that how does it work. So there's a very small part in your brain, and it's called amygdala. So basically amygdala influences your anxiety whenever you have to perform or you have to stand in front of crowd. That's your amygdala kicking in. That's your amygdala telling you, asking you to feel anxiety. So you have to overcome this part of your brain, amygdala, to overcome your anxiety. And now again, I'm going to give you a very good example. So I was watching a Netflix documentary that was called The Mind Explained, and there was a psychologist. He said, I've been treating people for anxiety for about 20 years. He said that I have this fear from sharks, and it has been in my mind from my childhood. So he said, when I got into water and when I faced my fears for the very first time, when I saw a shark in front of me underwater, I was feeling anxiety for about 5 minutes continuously. He said I was like jittering like this because I was facing my own fear. But after those 5 minutes, he realized, he said, that shark was not even interested in eating me. So he said that I realized, a guy like me, a psychologist, who tell everyone how to deal with your anxiety, he was telling the fact that, you will face your fears, and you will, feel anxiety. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert, extrovert. Because, for instance, if someone is trying to kill you, at that time you will feel anxiety because you are pressure. Your brain, is now in a kind of a compartment where you have to hide and seek. So yeah, it's the same sort of situation for introverts where you have to feel anxiety, but you have to overcome it. Those people standing in front of you, they're not going to kill you. They're not going to, do anything with you. You have to feel it, but you have to overcome it, and you have to become adaptable to it. So yes, what did we learn from this overall presentation that all of the other things that I explained before? That we have to face our anxiety, and we have to go through it. We will feel it, because if something is meaningful to you, if any interview, if any job is meaningful to you, obviously you're gonna feel anxiety. If something is not meaningful to you, I don't think you'll be feeling anything. So then again, in the morning I was watching a documentary, and it was like cooking documentary. In Ramadan, I used to watch cooking documentaries. So on Netflix, there was a cooking documentary, and there were like 3 guys competing for a prize money for their restaurant. And one of them said that I'm feeling anxiety. He said, if you're not feeling anxiety right now, you might be dead. So yes, it's a human part of it, to feel anxiety, in situations that are meaningful to you. So yes, you have to find motivation. You have to set ideals in front of you who can motivate you in becoming an extrovert. If you really want to do it, you will do it. But you have to set ideals, goals. You have to find your motivation and achieve them. And obviously practice and be consistent, because I was running when I was losing my weight. I was running for like 7 kilometers every day. My legs were in pain. I'm telling you, for 3 months I've ran continuously. Monday to Sunday I ran continuously. I had only one thing in my mind, and that was to lose weight at that time. Yes. So for some people, it's really hard to become an extrovert. They say, oh, it's very hard for me to come out of my zone and expand myself and be an extrovert. So for you, there is something in the middle, and that's called ambivert. It's basically a combination of an introvert and extrovert. So you can basically do that also. And ambiverts are also very adaptable people. They have some sort of things they have taken from extroverts, and some sort of characteristics that they have taken from introverts. So they're basically a combination of both of these personalities. So yes, now my group mate Hadika would be explaining her part of the slides.
Okay.
So over to you.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Comment section में बता दें अगर आवाज क्लियर है. Okay, thank you. Okay, my name is Hadika Hanif, and I will be telling you more about extroverts and introverts. सबसे पहले तो हम ये देखते हैं कि इंट्रोवर्जन और एक्सट्रोवर्जन जो है वो स्टार्ट कहाँ से होता है। और बहुत से ऑब्जर्वेशन से ये पता चलता है कि ये हमारे चाइल्डहुड एक्सपीरियंस पे डिपेंड करता है, किसी का इंट्रोवर्ट होना और एक्सट्रोवर्ट होना। बचपन में पेरेंट्स जो हैं वो कुछ पेरेंट्स जो हैं वो हमें एनवायरनमेंट को एक्सप्लोर नहीं करने देते, वो खेलने से रोकते हैं दूसरे बच्चों के साथ, या तो फिर जो है अगर वो सोशल गैदरिंग्स पे जाते हैं तो वो जो है बच्चों को साथ नहीं लेके जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से जब हम एडल्टहुड में आते हैं तो हम किसी भी अननोन को एक्सप्लोर करने से डरते हैं और किसी भी स्ट्रेंजर से बात करने से घबराते हैं। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड अमान। मार चेंज द स्लाइड। इफ यू डोंट टॉक टू स्ट्रेंजर्स यू आर ब्रोक। हमें बचपन में हमेशा कहा जाता है कि किसी भी स्ट्रेंजर से बात मत करना, वो आपको किडनैप कर लेगा, जिसकी वजह से जो है हम जब बड़े किसी भी स्ट्रेंजर से बात करते हुए जो है वो डर महसूस होता है और हम किसी से बात नहीं कर पाते। हमें जो है हमें जो हम जब एडल्टहुड में आते हैं तो हमें जो है फेस करना होता है वर्ल्ड को, और ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि अगर हम किसी स्ट्रेंजर से बात ना करें तो हम जो है वो सक्सेसफुल हो सकें या फिर हम ग्रो कर सकें। जो हमारे फ्रेंड्स होते हैं वो स्ट्रेंजर्स ही स्ट्रेंजर्स चेंज होते हैं फ्रेंडशिप में, और वो फ्रेंड्स जो है वो हमारे चेंज हो सकते हैं कस्टमर में। जैसे अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं किसी जो है वो सेल्स पर्सन की, तो कभी आप लोग गए हैं किसी मार्ट वगैरह जैसे इम्तियाज वगैरह, वहाँ पे कोई आपको सेल्स पर्सन मिला है जो आपको जो है वो प्रोडक्ट लेकर आता है और आपको प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करवाता है, क्या आप उसको मुझे कमेंट बॉक्स में बताएं अगर आपको जो है, अगर आप लोगों ने देखा हो कि अगर आप लोग जब गए हो किसी मार्ट वगैरह, कोई सेल्स पर्सन आपके पास आया हो कोई प्रोडक्ट लेके, किसी के साथ हुआ है ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस, तो आप लोग उसको जानते होते हैं, क्या वो आपका फ्रेंड होता है? नहीं ना, वो एक स्ट्रेंजर होता है। जब तक स्ट्रेंजर से आप बात नहीं करेंगे तो आप अपना प्रोडक्ट के बारे में उसको बताएंगे, कैसे प्रोडक्ट कैसे सेल करेंगे, आप मनी कैसे अर्न करेंगे, सक्सेसफुल कैसे होंगे। तो किसी भी स्ट्रेंजर से बात करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, और स्ट्रेंजर ही होता है जो आपके फ्रेंड में चेंज होता है, और फिर जो है आपके कस्टमर भी जो है वो स्ट्रेंजर्स ही होते हैं। तो आप क्या है, यू हैव टू फोर्स योर सेल्फ टू कम आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन। आपको अपने कंफर्ट जोन को एक्सपेंड करना है। बाय नेचर कोई भी इंसान जो है वो इंट्रोवर्ट हो सकता है, बट स्किल्स के साथ, टाइम के साथ, ट्रेनिंग के साथ वो जो है एक्सट्रोवर्ट की जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वो जो है नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। Why do you want to change from an introvert to an extrovert? इंट्रोवर्ट होना जो है एक बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है, आए होते हैं, आप किसी से बात करने में जो है अनकंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं, किसी को खुद के सामने इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं करवा सकते, किसी स्ट्रेंजर के सामने जो है वो ऑकवर्ड फील करते हैं, किसी स्ट्रेंजर को अप्रोच नहीं कर सकते और इससे जो है अनकंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं। इंट्रोवर्जन आपकी लाइफ को बेसिकली जो है बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बना देता है और की परफॉर्मेंस की बहुत इफेक्ट होती है। अगर आपको याद हो स्कूल, कॉलेजेस या फिर रिसेंटली अगर मैं कहूँ यूनिवर्सिटी की बात, तो कभी ऐसा होता है आप लोगों के साथ कि जो है सर कोई क्वेश्चन करते हैं और ये सोच के आप उस क्वेश्चन को आंसर नहीं करते कि पता नहीं हमारा क्वेश्चन जो हमारा आंसर है वो सही है या नहीं, और फिर जो है वो सर पता नहीं क्या रिप्लाई देंगे, स्टूडेंट्स क्या सोचेंगे, वो जजमेंटल हो जाएंगे या फिर हमारा मजाक उड़ेगा, और फिर जब वो आंसर जब आता है तो आंसर वही आता है जो आप सोच रहे होते हो और बाद में आप रिग्रेट करते हो। तो ऐसा कोई फेज आया आपकी लाइफ में? कमेंट सेक्शन में बताएं। ऐसा तो इसीलिए रिग्रेट करने से अच्छा है कि हमारा जो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है हम वो सामने रखें अपने टीचर्स के, दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, कोई हंस देगा, हम लोग गलत हो जाएंगे, लेकिन उसमें क्या होगा, एक्सपीरियंस मिल रहा है ना आपको, अपने एक्सपीरियंस से ही आप सीखते हैं। जरूरी नहीं जो एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स को नहीं कि वो हमेशा जो है वो राइट हो, वो रॉन्ग भी हो सकता है, लेकिन आपके मेन जो चीज़ है वो ये है अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखना, चाहे सही हो या चाहे गलत हो। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। एडवांटेजेस बीइंग एन एक्सट्रोवर्ट। जो एक्सट्रोवर्ट होते हैं वो एक्सप्रेसिव होते हैं, उनको एक्सप्रेस करना बहुत पसंद होता है, दिल की बात हर इजीली जो है वो शेयर कर सकते हैं, और इनका जो इसकी वजह से जो स्ट्रेस लेवल है वो काफी हद तक जो है रिलीज कर देता है। जबकि होते हैं वो एंजाइटी और डिप्रेशन सबसे ज़्यादा उन्हीं की होती है जो इंट्रोवर्ट्स होते हैं, इसलिए क्योंकि वो अपनी बातें शेयर नहीं कर सकते। जब आप बातें शेयर नहीं करते, अपने अंदर सारी बातें रखते हैं, तो आपको एंजाइटी होना शुरू हो जाती है, डिप्रेशन होना शुरू हो जाता है। और जबकि जो एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स हैं, जो दिल हल्का करते हैं अपना दूसरों को बताएंगे, जब तक वो किसी को बताएंगे नहीं, रिलैक्स नहीं होते वो। तो ये एक बहुत मेन फैक्टर है कि जब भी आप कुछ फील करें, एटलीस्ट वो किसी के साथ जो है अपने फ्रेंड्स बनाए, उनके साथ शेयर करें या फैमिली मेंबर्स के साथ शेयर करें, लेकिन एंजाइटी और डिप्रेशन का शिकार मत हो। देन सेकंड पॉइंट इज सोशली एक्टिव। एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स जो होते हैं वो नए लोगों के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें लोगों से बात करना अच्छा लगता है, उन्हें जो है लोग एक्सपीरियंसेस जानने का, एक्सपीरियंसेस सुनने का शौक होता है, उन्हें कल्चर के बारे में, जैसे कि अम्मार ने बताया कि किस तरह वो बाहर गए और उनको जो है दूसरों का कल्चर लर्न किया, दूसरों के एक्सपीरियंसेस से सीखा। तो इसी तरह जो है एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स के लिए उनको बहुत ज़्यादा एक्टिव होते हैं। दूसरा जो है उनका बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग नेटवर्क होता है, और ये आपकी लाइफ के हर पॉइंट पे बहुत ज़रूरी है। जब हम थीसिस की क्लासेस भी लेते हैं तो मैम हमेशा हमसे कहती हैं कि आप जो है वो पॉजिटिव फ्रेंडशिप्स करें अपनी क्लास में, क्योंकि हमेशा जो है टीचर अवेलेबल नहीं होता। आपको इंट्रोवर्ट बन के आप रह सकते हैं, आपको फ्रेंड्स बनाने पड़ते हैं, ताकि कल को अगर आपको उनकी हेल्प की नीड हो तो आप उनसे हेल्प मांग सकें, और उनको अगर आपकी हेल्प की नीड हो तो आप उनको हेल्प कर सकें। तो इस तरह दोनों के लिए ही जो है वो फायदा है। देन कैन पुट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इन फ्रंट ऑफ मोर सक्सेसफुल। जो एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स होते हैं वो इसीलिए कामयाब होते हैं क्योंकि वो अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दूसरों के सामने रख सकते हैं कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ, और यही जो है आपकी प्रोफेशनल ग्रोथ के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। प्रैक्टिकल वेज टू अडेप्ट एंड बिकमिंग एन एक्सट्रोवर्ट। सबसे पहला है, फर्स्ट स्टेप है सेल्फ एनालिसिस का, कि आपको वो रीजंस पता करना है जिसकी वजह से आप अनकंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल के एक्शन से आपको अगर डर लगता है, लेकिन अगर आपको ज़्यादा लोगों से बात करना नहीं पसंद, और जैसे कि अगर आप स्कूल गोइंग, कॉलेज गोइंग, यूनिवर्सिटी गोइंग, तो एटलीस्ट जिस चीज़ से आपको डर लगता है, जैसे इंटरेक्शन से, आप बस किसी को जो है अगर आप जा रहे हो तो किसी को स्माइल पास करते हैं। जब आपको आगे से पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स, तो आप लोग खुद मोटिवेटेड फील करेंगे, एक कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ेगा, और आगे जाके आप और जो है इंटरेक्शन करेंगे या बात करने की आपके अंदर जो है हिम्मत बढ़ेगी। हो सब जरूरी नहीं कि हमेशा जो है आपको पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स ही मिले, कभी कभी नेगेटिव रिस्पॉन्स भी मिल जाता है कि आपने स्माइल की, आगे वाले बंदे ने कुछ रिएक्ट ही नहीं किया, तो कोई बात नहीं, उस चीज को नहीं सोचना है। एक्सट्रोवर्ट सिखाता है कि हमें कुछ नहीं, हमें ये नहीं सोचना कि आगे वाला बंदा क्या सोच रहा है, बस हमें उससे जो है वो लर्न करना है। अगर चीज़ें हमारे मुताबिक नहीं चल रही तो हम उससे लर्न करेंगे, लेकिन जब पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स मिलता है तो हम मोटिवेटेड होते हैं और हमें हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ता है। ये हमारी लर्निंग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। सेकेंड पॉइंट है बी अ गुड लिसनर। अगर आपको किसी से बात करना नहीं पसंद तो एटलीस्ट आप जो है ग्रुप का पार्ट बन सकते हैं, उनको सुन के। बेशक आप कुछ ना बोलें, पर एटलीस्ट आप उनको सुन के बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं, और उसके बाद अगर आपको लगे कि आपको अपना कुछ जो है एडवाइसेस देनी चाहिए, सजेशन देनी चाहिए, तो डेवलप एन आई कॉन्टेक्ट विद द पीपल। इससे आपका जो है कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बहुत हद तक जो है वो बढ़ता है। अगर आप बहुत जो है मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर्स को भी देखें तो हमेशा वो आई कांटेक्ट बनाए रखते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के साथ, और यही वजह है कि जो क्लासेस में टीचर्स होते हैं जो आई कांटेक्ट रखते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के साथ, तो वो क्लास सबसे ज्यादा जो है वो एक्टिव होती है, और सारे स्टूडेंट बहुत एक्टिवली जो है पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे होते हैं। अगर इंसान जो है खुद से ही बातें करता रहेगा, कुछ आते हैं वो लेक्चर्स देते हैं बस और चले जाते हैं, ना कोई आई कांटेक्ट ना कुछ, तो वो क्लासेस क्या हो जाती है, बहुत बोरिंग भी होती है। The next point is instead of running away from the crowd, be a part of it. अगर आप लोगों से बात करना नहीं चाहते तो आप मत करें, लेकिन अगर आप क्राउड में हैं तो आप पीछे बैठ के उनको जो है एटलीस्ट ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं, उस डिस्कशन का भी पार्ट बन सकते हैं, उस गैदरिंग का भी पार्ट बन सकते हैं, क्योंकि इससे भी जो है कोई आपको नुकसान नहीं हो रहा, आप कुछ ना कुछ किसी के एक्सपीरियंस से या लर्न नहीं करेंगे। Having a bad communication doesn't have to do anything being an introvert. हम माइंड में बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो है वो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो हम कहना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हम कह नहीं सकते, क्योंकि हम ये सोच रहे होते हैं कि भाई दूसरे क्या सोचेंगे, हमारा मजाक बनाएंगे। तो ये होता है कि हम अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रख नहीं पाते, हमें पता नहीं होता कि हम किस तरह जो है अपना पॉइंट आगे रखें, और ये सब हम सोचते हैं। तो हमें ये सब नहीं सोचना। हमें हर इंसान अपनी गलतियों से ही सीखता है, हमें अपने पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू देने हैं, चाहे वो सही हो या चाहे वो गलत हो। हमें कि हम सही बोल रहे हैं गलत, कोई भी इंसान जो है परफेक्ट नहीं होता। जो इंट्रोवर्ट्स होते हैं बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज इसलिए मिस कर देते हैं कि वो सोचते हैं पता नहीं हमारा तो होगा नहीं, कोई जॉब इंटरव्यू है, कोई जॉब ऑफर हुई है तो बोलते हैं कि इसमें अप्लाई करने का क्या फायदा, पता नहीं हमारा होगा नहीं होगा, हमारा तो नहीं होने वाला, खुद ही असम्पशन बनाना शुरू कर देते हैं और जो है उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को अवेल नहीं करते। तो ये आपकी जो है ग्रोथ के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपके सक्सेसफुल लाइफ के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप लोग रिस्क लें, ये मत सोचें क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा, लेकिन उस जो अपॉर्चुनिटी को जो है अवेल ज़रूर करें। Amar, you can continue.
Okay, guys, that was a very good elaboration of how you can basically practically transform yourself from an introvert to an extrovert. So good job by Hadiga. So yes, I'm gonna be giving the final word to you guys. So yes, even if you know you are an introvert and you wanted to be an extrovert or an ambivert, that is basically a combination of both of these personalities, you know, first you have to find the motivation. The motivation that I did, you know, when I wanted to lose my weight, when I wanted to gain my weight, I did both. I did gain my weight in 2015 and I did lost my weight in last year. So yes, I did both, but I had some motivation in my mind that yes, now is the right time and I need to do it because that weight was not suited for my personality. Then again, I tried myself out of my comfort zone so many times. You know, whenever I had a call for an interview, I didn't attempt it to go there just to get a job. I wanted to test myself that how I would perform in that particular interview. I gave like numerous interviews, you know, in my professional life, numerous interviews just to check and understand how would I perform in that particular environment when 3 or 4 guys or one guy is sitting in front of me, an HR officer is sitting in front of me asking me questions. What's it's gonna be? Then again, similarly in traveling, I faced a lot of problems, a lot of situation in which I didn't want it to be, because I traveled to remote parts of Europe. I traveled to a village called Vereb, and you know, Google Maps just showed me wrong directions. I went into wrong trains. I lost a lot of my time. I was about to lose my MacBook also. That's worth a lot to me because I have everything. I have everything that is related to my work on it. So yes, a lot of things have happened on my traveling trips. I have a lot of stories to tell you guys, but then again, we have limited time. So yes, if you want to become an extrovert, want to transform yourself into an extrovert, you have to try and test yourself in such environments that your body would not be able to do it. For instance, you know, if somebody's asking you to become an actor, you would say, oh no, that's not for me. So that's a kind of situation that you don't want to put yourself in. So things like that. Okay, not become an actor, but try to test yourself, try to improve yourself, you know, maybe it can help you in your future. Then again, managing anxiety, like I gave you an example of the psychologist, he then again teaching everyone and how you can manage your anxiety, and psychologists are born and bred for that, you know, they are trained for that, to telling people how you can, you know, basically calm yourself in that moment in certain selves, you know, how you can basically manage your anger. So yes, he also faced his fear and felt anxiety, but then again, you have to be adaptable to it. You have to go through that situation and become a better version of yourself. Yes, so that was my final word, and now it's the time to show you a video. So now I'm going to be showing you an interesting video that's basically also related to pandemic, that how, you know, and these two personality types, like how would an introvert would be behaving in the pandemic situation when there is lockdown imposed, and how extrovert, you know, is going to be behaving, you know, in this lockdown situation. Yes, so let's see it. Let's watch it. And just tell me when I play it and if you can watch it or not. If you can see it. So can you see the video, guys? Visible, visible. Okay, I'm gonna play it again. Enjoy. Okay, guys, that was it. So tell me, how was the video? How was the video? Was it interesting or not? You can write in the comment box.
Okay, Ji, Ammar and Hadika, beta, both of you, are you done with the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. We
Yes,
actually
ma'am.
we had to do an activity also, ma'am.
Challenge,
If
okay, go
we
ahead, go ahead.
okay, Adhika,
Amar,
would you do it
I
first?
have a one question.
Who is
You
this?
you you can ask question. You can ask
First of
question
all,
after we
if
can
you,
complete.
beta, those who want to ask their questions, they have to introduce themselves first because I cannot see you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is
because
Atif.
जिस
My name is
अच्छा
Atif. I
ठीक है
want to have one question.
Okay, let's do questions then. We had to do an activity also, but let's do the questions then. No problem.
Amar, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm driving right now, so I can't type the question. So I was just want
No
to
problem. No problem. But
you
also
both have
focus
done
on your
very good
driving.
job. Very much. What is okay? What
Yeah.
is the relationship and the introvert to the
Yes.
extrovert? Because I have seen many bulky and fatty people who are conducting trainings and interviews, and they are quite successful in their life. So if you put some light on this, thank you very much.
Okay, so I basically didn't understood that. What is the difference between the introvert and extrovert, or what is the connection between an introvert and extrovert? Well, I would like to
Exactly, in
say,
connection between two activities.
okay, so there's basically a lot of difference than connection, because introverted people are those people who do not like to come out of their comfort zone. They do not like to stand in front of a huge crowds. But now again, I have told you about ambiverts also. Ambiverts are like a combination of both introverts and extroverts. And if you're an ambivert, you basically have both characteristics of an introvert and extrovert. So you can basically expose yourself, in a to a certain group of people. You can also, sit at the back of the class. Sometimes, it's not going to be a problem. But if you take an extroverted personality, he would never do this. He would never be adaptable. He would always want, a lot of attention. But for ambiverts, they're like, they can adapt and go around between both introverted characteristics and extroverted characteristics. Yes. So does that answer your question?
Okay, how does it relate with your way to choose activity?
Yes. So the thing is, when I was an introvert, when I in my childhood, when I was an introvert, I realized, that I was not very confident. When I was an introvert, I wanted to do things less than more. For instance, if I wanted to ask any questions in the class, in the crowd, my mind would be telling me, okay, this is the question. You should ask it. You should ask this question from the video. I would say, no, I would not do it. So I was also going to, show a video to you guys, that would explain it more better. Like, a person who's an ambivert, like had, two kind of personalities. One is an extrovert, on the other hand, one is an introvert. An introvert is telling him, to, stay at home, don't do a lot of things, don't meet a lot of people, don't do this presentation, don't do this, don't do that. And an extrovert, would be, or an ambivert, basically would be telling you, no, you shouldn't be sitting at home. You should be going out, meeting people, having interesting chat. You shouldn't be watching this movie alone. You should be going to cinema, meeting more people. And you should be explaining
Oh, okay,
yourself.
okay, I got it. I got one thing. I
Yeah.
got one thing that while you are much heavier,
Mm.
and as compared to right now, you are less heavier as compared to 2 years back or 3 years back. You're so you are now much confident right now.
Yes, because in my childhood, I was not like this. That was basically the part of my presentation, and that was basically, the tagline also. That I was not like this before. Yes, in my childhood.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay, okay.
but
Actually,
it took me a
I
lot of
was
time.
also thinking about that.
Yeah.
One thing.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
just 10 years back, I was 95 kg. Right now, I'm
Ah,
67.
weight wise.
That time,
That's
that time
good.
I was
That's a
confident.
big
That time I
transformation.
was confident. I was conducting trainings. I was conducting interviews. Right now,
Yeah,
I'm more
yeah,
confident this as compared to 10 years back. So it is actually a
yeah,
great change. Good
mm,
luck. Thank you very much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So one thing more, I'm gonna tell you guys that there are some people who associate their weight with their confidence. I don't think in all of the cases it would be the same. So for me, my body did not had a lot of bad weight. I was like built for good, but then again, I had some physical problems. Like I had because I ate a lot of proteins. I was taking a lot of proteins, a lot of artificial weight, I might say. It was not adaptable for my body to, you know, get that weight and go around every day. So yeah, that's why I had to change myself. But it was not related to my confidence, you know. It was not related. I was in these 5 years when I got, you know, more heavier, I was confident. I was basically behaving like an extrovert. It was not related to my confidence. But yes, if you look good, if you think you look good, you know, you have a good personality, you have good characteristics, obviously you would be confident. Yes.
Okay,
So
great. I
can
got
we
you.
do
Thank
this
you very
activity?
much.
Hadika, would you like to? Yeah, no problem, no problem. So Hadika, would you start with your questions, activity
Okay.
questions? So we can randomly select a person, and we're gonna be asking, you know, some sort of questions to with them, you know, to have
So
some
if
sort of interaction. You know, we originally wanted to design some flashcards so you can basically choose from it, but then again we thought it's gonna be problematic in this online situation. So we are just gonna be selecting one person, and we are gonna be asking questions from them, and you're gonna have to open your mic. So Harika, can you select
okay,
one person?
uh,
Just
Amir
like,
Idris, if he is listening to
so
us.
Amrit Rees, you have to open your mic. Amrit Rees, can you open your mic, please? We have to ask a question from you. Okay, let's choose another person. Let's choose another person. Let's choose Asma. Why not choose Asma?
Okay.
Asma, are you available? Can you open your mic? Mm,
Now I came to
is
know
anyone
who is
available who
present,
can open?
who is
Eventually,
actually present in the class and who is not. I can easily see that. ये जो बच्चे भागे हैं ना, I can easily see them. They're just logged in and they are not present in the class. ठीक है.
Anyone can open their mic, and we're gonna be asking. Okay, Amir, can you please open your mic? Amir, can you please open your mic?
okay, let's choose someone else then. There is same
There's
issue.
some issue. Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Can anyone open their mic right now? Okay, let's start with Varisha. Varisha, can you open your mic?
I think no one is interested, or they are not listening.
Can anyone open their mic, please? Okay, she did. I think
Am
she
I
did.
audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
yes, yes, yes. I can listen.
Okay,
Okay, Hadika, go ahead.
you have to explain yourself with your 5 hidden qualities that no one knows about.
Okay. I'm a hardworking, passionate, confident, and self-motivated individual.
Is there some like weird qualities like bathroom singer as an example that no
Varisha,
one
Yeah,
knows?
this is,
uh,
yeah,
are these qualities hidden? Varisha,
Uh,
as far as
yeah.
I
These
know
are
you,
not hidden qualities.
these are not
Hmm,
hidden qualities of
hmm.
you. I can easily understand, and I know
yes.
you like for 2 to 3 years. These
Okay.
are not your hidden qualities.
Okay. I just didn't listen the question properly. Okay. Hidden. It might be, yes, we can take it as I'm a bathroom singer. Yes, we can take this.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good. Okay, anyone else, you know, can open your mic, and we can interact with you. Anyone else? Asma also replied. Asma is having some trouble, I think. So anyone else? Noor Sabah, Rana Huzairia, Tabassum, Mahmouda Maqsood. Anyone else? Ikra Naseem. Can anyone else? I'm gonna ask you a very interesting question. Okay, no one? Anyone? Anyone?
Amar, you can ask me.
Okay, Atif. Okay, Atif. Let me choose. Okay, so if you wish to attain a superpower, then what it should be, and what would you do with it? And try to think something very realistic.
I wish if I got superpowers, I would like to change my country's political dynamics.
Hmm.
As
Okay,
many things
what?
are interlinked with this, I want to
Yes.
change the education system from basic to the higher level.
And in the politics, what would you try to do? Like you would change the parliament system, like National
I
Assembly
wish
seat,
to
something.
get rid of each and every politician who does not have any positive qualification for the position they are holding right now.
Yeah, so like
I wish to
pre-checking
get
of
rid
their
of this
academic credentials.
feudal system, this the worst
Quota.
ever system that we are facing
Hmm.
right now, the quota, whatever you call it.
Quota system, yes, quota system, yes. Okay, that's good. That's good.
And
That's a good
the third,
response. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, go on. Yes, I can hear you. Go on. I think we lost him. Okay, no problem. No problem. No problem. Is anyone else wanted to come online and can interact with us? Is
Amar,
anyone
beta,
else?
beta, there is no need of it. You can easily see only Atif is there and the two presenters are in the class. Rest of them, they are just logged in and they are not physically present.
Yes, I think so.
They all are just logged in for the sake of attendance, but I know they are not physically present in the class. Don't write I am present, I am present. Then why don't you open up your mics? Then why don't you open up your mics? Everyone is having issues with their mics. Why it is so?
Hello? Hello?
Only
Okay, ma'am.
Varisha came up with,
Asma is here.
अच्छा जी चलें, okay, it's done. It's time to give my feedback. Okay, Maksooda beta, it's your turn. Be ready. Try to upload your slides. In the meantime, in the meantime, I would like to give the feedback to the group. बेटा अपने जरा mics mute करो, मुझे थोड़ा सा loud बोलना पड़ रहा है. बेटा
Okay.
all of you please mute your mics क्योंकि मुझे थोड़ा जरा ऊंचा बोलना पड़ रहा है. ठीक है. Okay, well and good. Maksooda, be ready. Next is your turn with Ibad. ठीक है जी. In the meantime, जब तक मकसूदा अपने तमाम तर स्लाइड्स वगैरह एडजस्ट कर लेती हैं, this is group number 9 and the presentation was conducted by Ammar and Hadika. ठीक है, अगर मैं इस पे feedback अपनी दूं, the topic is very interesting. Introvert, the journey from introvert to an extrovert. लेकिन सबसे पहले I need to highlight one thing and this is something which really pleased me. Ammar discussed or highlighted one project on which he's working related to sustainable development goals. This is something really, really commendable, and I would rather believe it would really strengthen his profile and resume. And this experience, which he discussed during his presentation, that is really unparalleled. ठीक है जी. अब जहां तक कंटेंट की बात है, तो कंटेंट में Ammar initiated his like case study in which he discussed about his health concerns, intangible rewards, academic achievement की बात की, traveling experiences की बात करी, और ये सारा का सारा कंटेंट ठीक है अपनी जगह बहुत अच्छा था. नो डाउट इससे किसी को एक एग्जांपल मिल सकती है, एक मोटिवेशन मिल सकती है. इफ यू वांट टू ट्रांसफॉर्म योर लाइफ फ्रॉम बीइंग एन इंट्रोवर्ट टू एक्सट्रोवर्ट, तो आप किस तरह की जर्नी को फॉलो कर सकते हो, किस तरह के माइलस्टोन्स आप अचीव कर सकते हो. सो दैट्स ऑन अ पॉजिटिव साइड. जहां तक हदीका की बात है, हदीका ने अपने स्टार्ट किया या ज्यादातर एक्सप्लेन किया एक्सट्रोवर्ट के एक्सपीरियंसेस, सिग्निफिकेंस, टिप्स, टेक्निक्स, इन तमाम तर रेस्पेक्ट्स पे बात करी. तो जहां तक कंटेंट की बात है, दैट इज रियली गुड. कंटेंट वाज आउटस्टैंडिंग, लेकिन एक थोड़ा सा मिसिंग एलिमेंट है. अम्मार एंड हदीका, बेटा इसको जरा नोट डाउन करना. अगर ये चीज थोड़ी सी ऐड कर देते तुम दोनों, तो इट वुड बी ऑन अ वेरी डिफरेंट लेवल. अब वो चीज क्या है? अगर किसी सेलिब्रिटी या नोन पर्सनालिटी या कोई रिनाउंड लीडर की अगर तुम कोई केस स्टडी या एग्जाम्पल हाईलाइट कर देते, कोई जिसे कहना चाहिए ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन फेज डिस्कस कर लेते, लाइक ABC पर्सनालिटी, उसको इंट्रोवर्ट होने की वजह से क्या नुकसान हुए, एक्सट्रोवर्ट होने की वजह से उसको क्या क्या माइलस्टोन्स अचीव हुए, या उसकी जर्नी क्या रही, तो ये चीज अगर थोड़ी सी ऐड हो जाती, like a case study of any leader, any personality, any celebrity, so it would be like a very अमेजिंग थिंग. बाकी सारी चीजें थी, सारी चीजें अच्छी थी, और उस पर जो है मैंने आपको मार्क कर दिया. ठीक है बेटा, ऑल इज गुड. चलें जी, विच वन इज नेक्स्ट ग्रुप?
Hello,